Between now and when it happens, I'm going to serve other people who already have children, as in those who already have the same sort of miracle that we are looking forward to God to do in our lives.
All right, so you got yourself into that. You started serving people. And in what ways?
One of them was this. The fellowship we started then metamorphosed into what is now called Winners Chapel London. I grew into a church. Now, most of the people coming to the fellowship then, maybe it was like a 15 to 30 minute train ride, and they're already in our place. Now, the venue that we got for the church was about 1.5 hours drive away from where we used to live then. So it meant that people were going to travel long distances to get to East Putney then. There was this particular family, they just had a child. And this was about winter time, and they were going to be catching the tube to this place. And I just thought to myself, I said, it's really not nice for these people to keep going there, coming to church in the cold, right through the tube. So what I decided to do was to go into my savings, and I agreed with my wife, and we bought them a car. And yet at that time, we didn't even have a car of our own. But I just thought, if they have a child, they need the car more than us. So that was when the thought first came to me that, oh, these guys need a car, let's buy them a car. But something significant happened. When we gave this family the car, the wife told her mom back home in Nigeria, and her mom told her that there is virtually no way these guys are going to end their journey without a child. She just made that statement. Then also, as the church was progressing, we bought cars for 2 other families who were taking public transport to attend the services on Sunday. And as that happened over the course of 1 year, more confidence and more assurance was building on the inside of me that this was a settled matter, even though in the natural we had not yet taken a step, as in going to see the doctors.
Another thing. All right, when you say the confidence was building, how was it building? Were you getting more revelation from the Word of God when you studied the Word of God? Or how was that developing on the inside of you? Because many people will say that as time goes on, then the confidence begins to die down, right? Probably because the confidence is still based on the natural system. But how was your own confidence growing? Because that seems to be the reverse.
Well, there are certain scriptures or scriptural experiences, rather, which I'd read about. And at each point in time, when I went into these actions of giving, they always came up in my spirit. Just like when Abraham offered his only son Isaac on the altar, and a pronouncement was made at that point. I felt that what he did was that he took something that mattered a lot to him and laid it down before God. Before God. So I always remember that experience, and I attached myself to it, that each time we had to do this, because it wasn't really convenient for us financially, that experience came back to me, and I knew that pronouncements were being made, as in I was now, I would call it, it was something inward that was building on the inside of me, that this issue is a settled matter. It just kept building on. Then also scriptures, like the scriptures that had to do with hearkening to the voices of the needy, that when you hearken to the cry of the needy, that God will also hearken to your cry as well. And I felt that that was one area in which I was looking forward to the tangible touch of God. So I felt that if I helped people who needed something I already had, that God was going to reach out to me in my own area of need as well and get it done for me.
All right. Where then was the breaking point in your spirit? At what point did something just switch?
Now, I would say the breaking point came in around December 2004.
Now, how long was this? It started in 1996.
Yeah, we got married in 96.
Now, and this went on till December 2004 now.
Yeah.
That's 8 years now.
8 years now.
All right then.
Now, what had happened was that a member of our church, I mean, by that time, I had moved on from Winners Chapel to start another ministry called Caris Chapel, which I now pastor.
Okay.
Now, a member of the church just walked up to me with, I mean, so much reluctance, and she said to me that she knew a gynecologist who was really very good, and that have I actually considered going to speak with a gynecologist. And to be honest with you, I was still persuaded in my heart that this matter is settled. But somehow, I just thought that, look, if I actually go on to speak with a gynecologist and we're examined, the gynecologist might then turn around and say, look, there's a problem in this particular area, there's a problem in that particular area, and then I can direct my focus on those areas and begin to address them specifically with words. So I agreed to go see the gynecologist. It was very interesting. We set up an appointment, and we were told that the booking fee for the appointment is £150. But there was something I forgot to do. I forgot to ask who to make the check out to. So I wrote a blank check for £150, and we attended the appointment. Now the gynecologist, a very senior gynecologist, but happened to be a Nigerian. And he did a scan where the three of us were there watching the scan. Then he said to us, said, I can see some little fibroids moving around here. Then obviously it looks like one fallopian tube is missing. The other one, I'm not really sure anything can pass through it. Now immediately that tells you something, that naturally it is very unlikely that you're going to have a child. So by the time he had that done, he made it clear to us that natural conception was out of the question now, and that we should consider IVF treatment. IVF treatment is where you isolate the sperm of the man and mix it with the egg of the woman to form an embryo, and then plant it back into the womb of the woman. When we're leaving, I brought out the check and said, who do I make this check out to? And then he said, oh, I don't actually accept payments from Nigerians because I was sent here by Nigerians. They paid my way through school. So I don't accept payments from Nigerians. That you can keep your money. The moment he said that, and we walked out of the hospital, I turned to my wife. I said, you know what? In my mind, this money was gone to this man. Now, because he has said this, I am going to plant this money into the service tomorrow. I'm going to plant it. And I said to her, this is a seed that the job is done. How God is going to do it, I don't know. Whether he's going to use this man or he's not going to use him, to be honest with you, I can't tell you. But one thing I know is that the last lap of the race has begun. And that I'm sure in my heart that we have it. I felt that was the breaking point. Then afterwards, we had a very unique experience. March 18th, in fact, before March 18th,